So moving on to the next slide. So the next question is, yes, you have said everything about scriptures and Veda Vyasa says Shastra Yonitva. Then the key question is, how do you establish the validity of the verbal testimony? How do you establish what you are reading is right? And again, Pramana Lakshana comes to a rescue there, and it will say Nirdoshaha Shabdaha Agamaha. That body of text without defects is proper Agama. What is the definition of that valid text? Tattva Prakashika of Jayatirtha will come to our help here. It will say Vakya Pramanyam Tavat Nirdoshataya Sambhavati. Nirdoshata cha Apaurusheyataya Aptimulataya cha. There are the only two qualities. Apaurushaya, Aptimulatva. Apaurushaya, we all know Apaurushaya is Vedas. And we've done sessions on Vedas on several occasions, and we've had lots of discussions in these forums. Vedas are Apaurushaya texts. And bottom of the slide, I've said validity of the Vedas rests on Apaurushaya, Nityatva, and Swataha Pramanya concepts. Yeah. Now, why is it called Vedas? Pippala the Shruti will say, Na Indriyani, Na Anumanam, Vedaki eva enam vedayanti tasmad ahuhu vedaha. This is the definition of Vedaha. Not just, and then I've also seen a few common definitions to know, with, it comes from the root with, to know. That is why it's called Veda. Yes, it is not to know about donkeys and monkeys, but it is actually to know about God. And the proper definition actually, Pippala the Rishi gives it to us. And as you know, Pippala the Rishi is the famous Rishi of Shatprashna Upanishad. So he has given us the definition saying that which cannot be known through Indriyas, that which cannot be known through logic, that body of text that will give us the knowledge of God, that is called Veda. Okay. Taittiriya Brahmanam will say, Na avedavin manutetam brihantam sarva anubhum atmanam samparaya. The first word is important. Na avedavin manutetam brihantam. That means brihantam is this Brahman. Okay. Aveda means he who does not know. Okay. What? He who does not know the Vedas. Na avedavin manutetam. He who does not know the Vedas does not stand a chance to know the Supreme, who is the giver of moksha and liberation. Yeah. And Veda Vyasa will also, there is a very famous sutra called Na Vilakshanatvadasya Tatatvam Cha Shabdat. Okay. I've given you the reference there, 214. Do some Google search on that and read the sutra for that. How Veda Vyasa actually establishes the supreme authority of Vedas. It is Vilakshana. Vedas, Vilakshana means something totally different. How is it totally different? Because it's authorless, it's Apaurushaya. How do you establish that? That is a whole lot of discussions that we've had a few months ago. So the validity of the Vedas rests on three grounds. Apaurushaya, it is authorless. Nityatva, it is eternal. And all pramanas are swataha pramana, which means the intrinsic validity of knowledge is in the knowledge itself. So that is a deep philosophical concept discussed both in Vedantic philosophy as well as in Western philosophy. For validity of knowledge, is the validity within the knowledge, or somebody has to test it and then prove that it is valid knowledge. So that is a different part of philosophical discussion. But anyway, for Vedas, these are the three components to prove that it is valid. So we have to accept as the proponents of the Sanatana Dharma that for us, the ultimate authority of any knowledge is the Vedas. So moving on to the next slide. So again, on the right side, it is Apti Mulataya. So Apti means a very qualified person has written this. And again, there is a definition for Apti Mulataya as well. Who is an Apti? So Vaktru, Shrotru, Prasaktinam, Ted Apti Mulataya, Anukulata. So it goes on and it talks about what is the optatva. So optatva means where there is a teacher, a student, and a situation. And the teacher is all three is important. The teacher, for example, has to be knowledgeable. He has no intention to deceive, and he has a desire to teach, and he is able to communicate. So all these things needs to be satisfied before you say that this guy is apta, and this scripture that has been written in this context is also authentic scripture. So all these criteria are met with in Brahma Sutra, in Bhagavad Gita, and in Bhagavatam, for example. So you can do your analysis and see whether teacher, student, and situation all fits in. It'll fit in perfectly for this. And that's the reason why in Vedantic philosophy, these works play a key role besides the Vedas. HinduKnowledgeAcademy.com will celebrate Vedic culture and present its philosophies to the modern Hindu in an accessible format. Our ancient heritage is our greatest strength. Through preservation and dissemination, together let us spread positivity in the world. Thank you for listening and welcome to Hindu Knowledge Academy.